If I call myself a radical feminist, would it make you want to hate me more or less?
This is Amy Duke. She's a WBC Muay Ying Champion, 7-time amateur national champion, and ranked number 9 in Raj Damner World Muay Thai Series. Today, I'm stepping up to see how long I can last on the mat and if I can get an interview in the process.
Okay.
This is Man on the Mat.
So your name's Amy Duke. Any relation to David Duke?
No relation to Uncle David.
Uncle. You're the WBC belt.
Yes.
Right? Same belt as Floyd Mayweather. Do you feel connected to him because of that or because of how many women you've hit? So you started training at 25. Did you have any previous martial arts experience, and what led you to the sport?
So I was a wrestler when I was in high school. I didn't think fighting was feminine at all, obviously. Yeah. And I was in like dance and cheerleading and stuff like that. But then like being able to see these like strong, beautiful women who are also just like powerful and explosive and like, fucking somebody up, I was like, I want to be her. That's sick. Yeah.
So you were in cheerleading and then you were in wrestling.
So there was like this transitional period where I did soccer for a few months. And I was not the best soccer player, but I'm fast.
Yeah.
And I'm a bully. I would just be running and clotheslining people and getting in trouble all the time. And I was in a debate class in my high school, and there's this tiny girl. She's like 100 pounds. She was wrestling in the men's division and got second place at the state at states. And I was just like, holy shit, you can do that? And she was like, yes, wrestling is so fun. Like, come try it. Because she had heard that I got in trouble during soccer. And she was like, you're probably going to love it. Come try. And then I went and I was like, oh, this is so great. I loved it. And then I didn't do any combat related stuff after high school. I was on like a club team for wrestling, just trying to stay in it a little bit. And then I basically just like left all of that, lived a completely different life. And then I was on like my fitness journey after a breakup, and I went into a MMA gym because a lot of my friends were doing like cardio kickboxing, and I was super into like lifting and stuff. So I was like, I want to do something that's, you know, more fun and more physical. And I found an MMA gym and I was like, they have wrestling. I'm just going to start wrestling again. I went in and I was one of those people who immediately went up and was like, hey, I want to spar. And they were like, that's jujitsu, please go do that instead. So I started doing jujitsu and then Muay Thai, and signed up at the gym and just started getting into all of the martial arts.
You think you hit me harder if I was a woman?
I would hit you less hard.
What aspect of fighting came easiest to you, and which took the longest for you to feel a sense of comfort?
The thing that took the longest for me was confidence. Like, it's something that I still am working on. I always am building up my opponent and making them seem like this unstoppable person who's going to make all my worst nightmares come true and blah, 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 blah. I feel like that is still, and maybe will forever be my challenge, but I've done so much work to like be able to trust myself that when the bell rings that I'm gonna show up no matter what. And so like I have all of these little mantras that help me through, and so one of them is like, it doesn't matter how I feel right now, it only matters how I feel when the bell rings.
Want to tell me how you lost some fights and maybe I can get some tips?
Freezing.
Freezing. Okay. What do I gotta do to make you do that?
You can't! In the beginning, just like fighting was really easy for me. Being sloppy, being crazy, just like fighting. But it was like the nerves and everything else was the hard part, or like believing in myself was the hard part. I would like fall into the trap of like not believing in myself, and that would impact my performance, and then I wouldn't be able to pull the trigger. So it was kind of like easy at first, and then like once I got a little more serious, I felt more pressure, and then it was harder for me to perform. And then I worked really, really hard on the performance aspect, and now that's something that I can like know that I'm gonna show up, and that gives me a lot of peace.
Have you ever thought maybe you don't like Muay Thai, you just like hitting Asian women?
I've hit a white woman and I love that the same.
There you go.
Are all sports very different in Thailand or just ping pong?
In addition to flying off to Thailand for business trips, what else do you have in common with my weird uncle? Is it true that you chose to compete in Thailand because you refused to fight women taller than you? All right, so I gotta ask, what are some of the challenges of being a woman in such a male-dominated environment, and how do you handle it?
Right now, I've kind of like built my little bubble where I don't have to deal with a lot of the stuff that women in gyms and in martial arts have to deal with. I have my husband and Phil training me. We have like private sessions. I have my own team. And so like a lot of it is kind of like isolated from the rest of it. But it can be, and it has been over the years, like really difficult. Obviously, pay is an issue, getting paid the same. I still don't get paid what I believe I deserve based off of my credentials and the work and the time that I've put into the sport. Just being taken seriously is a lot harder. A lot of people just assume that I can only hit pads, and that doesn't mean that I can fight. And I feel like a lot of people also don't think that I have any kind of fight IQ as well. They're just like, she looks pretty on the pads, and that's kind of the end of it. But it's definitely difficult, and there is still a lot of sexism in the sport. And you know, in Thailand, it's only been the last like 2 or 3 years where they started letting women fight in the big stadiums.
Really?
Yeah, so being able to be a part of like that new wave of female fighters that are coming in and like really showing what the sport can do is really exciting, and I'm really happy to be a part of it.
What do you think we could do, like the state's perception, to increase sort of the likelihood and sort of even out that pay? And I know it's a pretty loaded question, so
Yeah.
like it's not, you don't feel free to answer if you want to.
I think it starts at the gym level and having it feel more welcoming for women coming into the space and feeling more equalized and that type of vibe. Because I think once we start adding more women into the sport and into the gym, like more opportunities will come. And then promotions also trying to come up with some type of like percentage for how many female fights should be on the card. A lot of the times you see the cards coming out in the like the big fight cards, and it's all male fighters and there's no female fighters on the card, or there's one female fighter fight on the card. And so and that's just like kind of creating like not a lot of opportunity for women to push into that upper level. And I think to like, it starts in the gym, creating the right environments where women feel safe and like they can train. And then from that, that will make more women in the sport, make more women want to fight, create more community, and then I think eventually more opportunities for women.
Have you ever accidentally kicked a man in the groin, and where did they bury him?
You ever hit a man who shot his pants?
No, but I've hit a woman when I've shot mine.
Well, you shot yours. So you say you're sympathetic to the cops?
Do you hate the term catfight? If yes, do you prefer what Michael Vick did? Growing up with a Filipino mother, what if I told you I've been dodging punches from women for most of my life? Hit me
Congratulations.
with a frying pan one time. Is it true that you only got into fighting for an excuse to rock cornrows? It's sort of a loaded question. What do you want your legacy to be?
I honestly don't think about legacy. Life just goes on. So I feel like fighting for that and placing value in that is kind of like an empty bucket that I just don't really pay attention to. I just want to show other female fighters a way, whether it's the way, the right way. I have found a way and I'm making it happen.
Yeah.
And I want them to see that if I can do it, they can do it too. And if we're in similar circumstances or floating between gyms, or like I can still make it happen, I can still do it.
Let's go. Thank you.
Hey,
Joe,
all right, sweet. Let's do it. Smarter questions. Thank you for doing it.
thanks for
Appreciate
having
it.
me.
All right, let's get into it.